It begins with a girl, 21 years old, a Canadian student who dreamed of exploring Los Angeles. Her name was Elisa Lam. On January 31st, 2013, she walked into the Cecil Hotel, a building infamous for its dark history, suicides, and killers who once lived inside. And then, she vanished. Weeks later, her body was discovered in the hotel's rooftop water tank. Guests had been drinking and showering in that same water for days. But what made this story infamous wasn't just the horror of her death. It was the last footage ever recorded of her. A security video from the hotel elevator. In it, Elisa behaves in ways that defy explanation. Pressing multiple buttons, hiding in the corner, gesturing at something or someone invisible. The internet exploded. Was it murder, paranormal, or the tragic end of a young woman fighting her own mind? 10 years later, the questions remain, and the elevator door never truly closes. It was February 14th, 2013. 2 weeks after Elisa Lam vanished inside the Cecil Hotel, the police had reached a dead end. No leads, no trace. So they released a video to the public, the last known footage of Elisa Lam. The setting was simple, an elevator inside the hotel. But what the world saw was anything but simple. The first frame. The doors slide open. Elisa steps inside. She's wearing a red hoodie, shorts, sandals. She looks like any other guest, any other traveler. She moves quickly, like she's in a hurry, pressing herself against the panel of buttons. Her hand taps one after another. Not just one floor, but many, too many, as if she doesn't care where the elevator goes. As if she just needs it to move. But it doesn't. The doors remain open. Seconds pass. The silence feels wrong. She leans forward, peeking into the hallway. Then darts back in, pressing herself into the corner like she's hiding from something or someone. Elisa steps out, then back in, out, then in again. Her movements are jerky, restless. She presses herself against the wall, tilting her head, glancing rapidly as if she's tracking something unseen. And then her hands begin to move. Not like normal gestures, but deliberate, almost ritualistic. Her fingers twist and curl as though she's speaking with them. To whom? To what? Frame by frame, her body shifts from nervous to bizarre. She steps sideways, raising her arms, her wrists limp, swaying in strange arcs. It looks almost like a dance, almost like possession. Then she turns sharply, as if someone just appeared outside the elevator, but the hallway remains empty. When the footage was uploaded online, it spread like wildfire. Millions of people watched, rewinding, analyzing, slowing it down, frame by frame. Some saw fear. A young woman hiding from a pursuer, perhaps someone off camera. Others saw madness, a psychotic break, fueled by her illness. But many saw something else. Paranormal enthusiasts claimed Elisa was speaking to a spirit, or perhaps being controlled by one. They pointed to her hand gestures, calling them unnatural, otherworldly, like she was casting signals into a dimension we cannot see. And then the infamous theory, the elevator game. A ritual said to come from South Korea. According to legend, pressing elevator buttons in a certain sequence could transport you to another dimension, a place haunted by spirits. Where shadows are alive, viewers swore Elisa's actions matched the ritual. The way she pressed so many buttons, the way she seemed to step in and out, caught between two worlds. Was she playing the game? Or had the hotel already pulled her into one? But the video held more than gestures. It held oddities. The timestamp was blurred, missing. The footage itself appeared tampered with, slowed down in parts, cut in others. Some experts argued that over a full minute of tape was missing. Why? What was edited out? And why did the elevator itself refuse to move while Elisa was inside? Only when she finally walks away do the doors close, and the elevator begins to function normally. As though it too had been watching her, the video became a phenomenon. YouTubers, bloggers, armchair detectives dissected every frame. Memes and theories flooded social media. Theories of murder, possession, and supernatural curses battled across forums. To some, it was terrifying. To others, it was entertaining. But to everyone, it was unforgettable. Because there was something raw in that footage. The unfiltered image of a young woman in the throes of something we couldn't explain. Whether it was fear, illness, or something far darker, the effect was the same. It chilled viewers to their core. That elevator video remains one of the most haunting internet mysteries of the 21st century. It is the last living image of Elisa Lam, and it feels wrong. Like we are watching a moment we were never supposed to see. She steps out of the frame, vanishing down the hallway, and the elevator door closes slowly, as if swallowing her whole. It would be the last time anyone saw Elisa Lam alive. February 19th, 2013. 3 weeks after Elisa Lam vanished into the shadows of the Cecil Hotel, guests had started to complain. At first, it was the water. They said it tasted strange, metallic, bitter. Some described it as oily. Others said it smelled like something rotting. And then came the second complaint, the pressure. Showers dripped weakly, faucets sputtered. The water ran dark, brownish, with flecks of something that shouldn't be there. At the front desk, guests demanded answers. The hotel management sent a maintenance worker, a man named Santiago Lopez, to check the rooftop water tanks. 4 massive cisterns sat there, each holding thousands of gallons of water used throughout the building. It was supposed to be a routine inspection, but what he found would turn the Cecil Hotel from a legend of darkness into a nightmare made flesh. The Discovery Lopez climbed the narrow staircase leading to the roof. The air was still, heavy, the sky gray and silent above the city. He crossed the gravel surface to the cluster of tanks. Each one stood like a giant coffin, metal cold and sealed tight. He reached the first, nothing unusual. Then the second, then the third. And when he reached the fourth, something inside caught his eye. The hatch was slightly ajar. He lifted it, looked in, and there she was, floating face up in the dark water, her clothes swirling around her like ghostly ribbons, was Elisa Lam. Her body was bloated from weeks in the water, her skin pale, her hair drifting like black ink. The sight was unspeakable. She was naked, her clothes found later, floating beside her in the same tank. The worker screamed. He ran down the stairs, breathless, stammering words no one wanted to hear. Police and firefighters rushed to the rooftop. Cameras, reporters. The building sealed off. Inside those tanks was the hotel's lifeblood, its water supply. For nearly 3 weeks, guests had been brushing their teeth, washing their faces, even drinking the very water that concealed her corpse. The horror was unimaginable. How did Elisa Lam get there? The rooftop door was locked and alarmed. Only staff had keys. The tanks were heavy, sealed with metal lids that required force to open. There was no ladder, no easy way to climb up. Investigators were baffled. To reach the tanks, Elisa would have had to pass security doors, alarms, and climb the structure somehow, alone. Was she chased? Was she lifted there by someone else? Or did something darker lead her up that path? Weeks later, the coroner released the official cause of death: accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed as a contributing factor. No signs of physical trauma, no sexual assault, no drugs in her system beyond her prescribed medication. And yet, the questions refused to die. How could a young woman undress, climb into a massive water tank, close the lid behind her, and drown without anyone noticing, without triggering alarms, without leaving evidence of struggle? It didn't add up. Some claimed she had a psychotic episode, that her illness drove her to the rooftop, into the tank. Others believed she was murdered, her body hidden where no one would ever think to look. And for many, it was something else entirely, that the Cecil Hotel itself had claimed her, just as it had claimed so many before. The tanks were drained, cleaned, sealed, the water system replaced, but the stain could not be washed away. Guests left in panic. The media swarmed the building. The Cecil Hotel's name became synonymous with death. In the years that followed, documentaries, theories, and ghost stories would circle the case like vultures. But the truth, if truth even existed, drowned with her in that tank. The police closed the case. The world moved on. But the image remained. That dark rooftop, the silent tanks, the endless questions. And somewhere in the corridors of the Cecil Hotel, people still swear they can hear dripping water and footsteps that stop right before the elevator.